What if I told you that a single penny could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? Welcome to HD Coins World. Today, we're diving into 7 rare US pennies that could make you a fortune. From hidden mint errors to rare varieties, these pennies are far more than just pocket change. Stay tuned to discover which ones you should be keeping an eye out for. Number 1. Imagine coming across an old, forgotten penny in your pocket change, only to discover that it's worth a staggering $68,000. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for some lucky collectors, that dream became reality with the rare and elusive 1961 United States 1-cent coin. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, why collectors are scrambling to find it, and how you might just have a fortune hidden in plain sight. The 1961 penny might seem ordinary at first glance, but don't let its modest appearance fool you. This coin holds a secret that only the sharpest numismatists know. Minted in Denver, the D mark under the date is your first clue, but what really sets this penny apart are the fascinating errors that can transform it from common to coveted. One of the most remarkable errors to look for is the repunched mint mark, known as the RPM. This occurs when the Denver mint mark was struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a doubled effect. Collectors treasure these flawed masterpieces, as they're not just a mistake, they're a piece of minting history. Imagine spotting this subtle but significant detail on a penny that's been overlooked for decades. But that's not all. Another variation to watch for is the double die obverse, where the coin's design appears slightly doubled, often noticeable in the date or lettering. These coins can easily slip through the cracks, but those who know what to look for could be sitting on a jackpot. Plus, certain coins from 1961 also exhibit die cracks, which appear as thin raised lines across the coin's surface, adding yet another layer of intrigue and value. What makes the 1961 penny even more fascinating is its historical context. In the early 1960s, the United States Mint was still recovering from the economic boom of the 1950s, producing billions of pennies to meet demand. While most were struck with precision, some coins inevitably bore small flaws, becoming the prized possessions of today's collectors. Finding one of these error coins among regular pennies is like uncovering a hidden relic of American history. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable pennies? Start by carefully inspecting the date and mint mark with a magnifying glass, looking for signs of doubling or repunching. Check the coin's surface for die cracks or any unusual lines. The smallest detail can make a world of difference in value. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the price. In top condition, with a well-preserved error, one of these 1961 pennies has been known to sell for an unbelievable $68,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than most people's annual salary. This mind-blowing figure proves that even the most unassuming coin can hold extraordinary value. So, next time you're sorting through your change, take a closer look at those 1961 pennies. You just might discover a rare gem hiding right under your nose. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow coin enthusiasts. Who knows? Your next penny find might just make you a fortune. Number 2. Today, we're uncovering the surprising story of the 1978 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that's leaving collectors speechless and treasure hunters on the edge of their seats. At first glance, the 1978 penny doesn't appear any different from other Lincoln cents minted during the era. But looks can be deceiving. While most of these coins are worth only face value, a select few have a secret that skyrockets their value, a secret hidden in plain sight. The 1970s were a time of change for American coinage. The United States Mint was producing billions of pennies to keep up with growing demand, but with that mass production came an increased chance of mint errors. That's where the real value lies. Among the common 1978 pennies, there are elusive variations and errors that make these coins worth far more than just 1 cent. One of the most sought-after errors from 1978 is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin is improperly prepared, causing a noticeable doubling in the date or the inscription on Lincoln's profile. Imagine finding a penny where the numbers in the date almost look like they're shadowed. This rare mistake could mean a big payday. Another intriguing anomaly is the off-center strike. Due to a misalignment during minting, These coins appear as if part of the design has been sliced off. While minor off-center strikes are somewhat common, coins that are significantly off-center, especially those retaining their date, can be worth a substantial amount. Additionally, keep your eyes peeled for coins with die cracks. These tiny raised lines can appear anywhere on the coin and result from stress fractures in the die itself. Coins with prominent or unusual die cracks are highly desirable among collectors, as they reflect a unique moment in the minting process. But what makes the 1978 penny truly fascinating isn't just the errors, it's the story behind its scarcity. Though millions were minted, few have survived in pristine condition due to heavy circulation. Finding one in high grade, with a mint error, is like striking gold. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that tell the story of both an era and a mistake frozen in time. If you think you might have one of these valuable pennies, start by examining the date, mint mark, and overall condition. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling or die cracks, and be on the lookout for any off-center designs. A coin in mint state with one of these errors could turn your small change into a collector's dream. And now, for the grand reveal. The highest recorded auction price for a 1978 penny with an error and in top condition was an incredible $47,000. That's right, a single penny worth nearly 50 grand. It just goes to show that sometimes, the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. So, next time you're digging through your loose change, take a moment to check those 1978 pennies. You never know when one of these rare treasures might fall right into your hands. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin hunting stories. Happy treasure hunting! Number 3. Today, we're diving into the remarkable story of the 1970 1-cent coin and why it's leaving collectors absolutely stunned. The 1970s were an era marked by bold social changes and an economy that was constantly shifting. As the U.S. Mint ramped up production to keep up with growing demand, something unusual happened. While most pennies minted in Denver that year were ordinary, a few carried hidden secrets, unique errors that have made them immensely valuable today. At first glance, a 1970 penny looks just like any other Lincoln cent from that period. It features Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But this coin holds a secret that only the most eagle-eyed collectors would notice. One of the most coveted errors from this year is the doubled die obverse, where elements like the date or the inscriptions appear slightly doubled. Imagine finding a penny where the numbers seem almost like they're vibrating. This subtle quirk can mean thousands of dollars. To the untrained eye, it might look like a minor smudge, but to a numismatist, it's pure gold. Another error that makes the 1970 penny so fascinating is the small date variation. There are actually two different date styles for this year, the small date and the large date. The small date variety is significantly rarer and often overlooked, but it's the one that collectors are after. To spot it, look at the 9 in 1970. If it curves inward more sharply and sits lower compared to the other digits, you've got the elusive small date. But that's not all. Some 1970 pennies also have fascinating die cracks, where a fine, raised line appears on the surface due to a crack in the die used to strike the coin. These flaws are more than just imperfections, they're part of the coin's history, making it unique and desirable. What makes this penny even more intriguing is its survival story. Despite being minted in large quantities, finding one in pristine condition is incredibly rare. Many of these coins were heavily circulated, worn down, or damaged, which means that well-preserved examples, especially those with errors, are now worth a fortune. Collectors who are lucky enough to find a 1970 penny with these unique characteristics know just how rare their discovery is. The coin's story doesn't just lie in its copper surface. It's also about how it survived decades of use while retaining its valuable error. If you think you might have one of these prized coins, start by carefully inspecting the date and mint mark with a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling or unusual shapes in the numbers. Check for die cracks or any unusual lines on the surface. Even the smallest detail can make the difference between pocket change and a payday. And now, for the part you've been waiting for, the highest known auction price for a 1970 penny with a rare error and in mint condition? An incredible $60,000. Imagine turning a single cent into a life-changing amount of cash. It just goes to show that even the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. So, next time you're sifting through your change, pay extra attention to those 1970 pennies. You never know when one of these rare gems might show up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Who knows? Your next big discovery might be just a penny away. Number 4. Imagine holding a penny from 1981 in your hand, thinking it's just a regular coin, only to find out it's worth an astonishing $43,000. That's right, a single cent that could make you richer than you ever imagined. Today, we're unlocking the hidden secrets of the 1981 United States 1-cent coin, a piece of American history that has left collectors spellbound. The 1980s were a vibrant and transformative time in America, and while pop culture was booming, the U.S. Mint was keeping busy producing billions of pennies to meet national demand. The Denver Mint, in particular, struck an enormous number of these coins in 1981, but not all of them came out as planned. And that's where the story gets interesting. While most 1981 pennies are as ordinary as you'd expect, a few are anything but typical. Tucked among the billions of coins are rare variations and mint errors that can send their value skyrocketing. Collectors who know what to look for have made some surprising discoveries that turn pocket change into a massive payout. One of the most desirable errors from 1981 is the doubled die obverse. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin has been improperly prepared, leading to a doubling effect on Lincoln's profile or the date. The doubling might be subtle, appearing almost like a blurry outline, but to a collector, this small detail can mean a significant increase in value. Another intriguing error to keep an eye on is the off-center strike. These coins appear misaligned, with part of the design cut off. While minor off-centers are relatively common, significant off-center strikes, especially those where the date remains visible, are highly sought after. Such mistakes give the coin an almost artistic, accidental beauty, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. There's also the fascinating world of die cracks. Fine raised lines that can appear anywhere on the coin's surface due to the die itself cracking during production. These imperfections add character to the coin, telling a story of how the machinery at the Denver Mint struggled to keep up with demand, inadvertently creating rare and collectible pieces. But what really sets the 1981 penny apart from other era coins is its surprising scarcity in high-grade condition. Since these coins were produced in massive quantities, they were quickly put into circulation, where most suffered significant wear and tear. Finding one in mint state with an error is like hitting the numismatic lottery. To make sure you're not missing out on a valuable find, take a close look at any 1981 penny you come across. Use a magnifying glass to examine the date and mint mark for signs of doubling. Check the coin's edges for off-center strikes or any noticeable die cracks. Even the smallest detail could be the key to unlocking a hidden treasure. And now, the moment that will leave you speechless. The highest recorded auction price for an era 1981 penny in pristine condition reached a jaw-dropping $43,000. Just think about it, a single cent worth nearly $100,000. Who would have thought that something so small could hold such incredible value? So, next time you're sifting through your change, don't dismiss those old pennies too quickly. One of them just might be your ticket to a fortune. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow coin enthusiasts. You never know, your next big find might be right under your nose. Number 5. Imagine pulling out a penny from your change and realizing it's not just worth 1 cent, but an astonishing $68,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet, this is the incredible reality for a rare few 1976 United States 1-cent coins. Today, we're diving deep into what makes these seemingly ordinary pennies so valuable and why collectors are scrambling to find them. 1976 was a remarkable year for the United States. It was the nation's bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins got special bicentennial designs, the humble penny remained unchanged, at least on the surface. Yet, among the billions of Lincoln cents minted that year, some carried unique errors and anomalies that transformed them into treasures. What makes the 1976 penny so captivating is that despite its massive production, a few extraordinary varieties slip through the cracks, literally. One of the most exciting finds among these coins is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die that strikes the coin is improperly aligned, creating a doubled image, usually noticeable in the date or the lettering. Imagine seeing a shadow-like effect on the word Liberty or the date 1976. That's your clue that you're holding something special, but that's not the only anomaly to watch for. Another fascinating error involves the floating roof on the reverse. On some 1976 pennies, the roof of the Lincoln Memorial appears detached from the pillars, as if it's levitating. This happens due to a die polishing error that removes the lines connecting the roof to the columns, creating a quirky and highly collectible variation. Another rare feature is the bold doubling of the motto, "In God We Trust." This error is particularly prized because it's easy to spot without magnification. Coins exhibiting this type of doubling can fetch premium prices, especially if the doubling is crisp and the coin is in mint condition. Additionally, don't overlook die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs of metal that appear on the coin due to breaks or chips in the die. These imperfections add character and significantly increase the coin's value, as they are seen as unique snapshots of minting history. But why are error coins from 1976 so significant? In that bicentennial year, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing special quarters, half dollars, and dollars. Pennies, although produced in massive numbers, didn't receive the same level of scrutiny, leading to more unnoticed errors slipping through quality control. These small mistakes are what make the 1976 pennies highly sought after today. So, how can you tell if your 1976 penny is worth more than face value? Start by examining the date and the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust, for any signs of doubling. Flip the coin and check the Lincoln Memorial roof. If it appears to float, you may have hit the jackpot. Use a magnifying glass to look for fine die cracks or cuds, and pay close attention to the coin's condition. An uncirculated example will always fetch more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The highest recorded price for a rare 1976 penny with an error in mint condition? A jaw-dropping $68,000. Yes, a simple penny, transformed into a valuable piece of history, proving that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprises. So, next time you're sifting through your spare change, don't just glance at those old pennies, inspect them carefully. You might just discover a rare gem worth a fortune. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with other coin enthusiasts. Who knows? Your next coin find could change your life. Number 6. Today, we're diving into the captivating story of the 1971 D1-cent coin, why it's considered one of the most sought-after coins among collectors, and how you can spot one in your own collection. The 1970s were a dynamic time in the United States, an era marked by cultural shifts, economic changes, and yes, the mass production of pennies. The Denver Mint alone produced over 2 billion Lincoln cents in 1971. Most were just typical copper coins destined for circulation, but hidden among them were a few rare and exceptional errors that would make any collector's heart race. One of the most thrilling discoveries among these coins is the famous double die obverse. This error occurs when the die that strikes the coin is improperly prepared, creating a noticeable doubling in the inscriptions or the date. Imagine spotting a penny where the words "In God We Trust" appear slightly duplicated or where the numbers and the date look shadowed. This unique flaw can elevate a humble penny to a truly valuable collector's piece. Another rare and highly prized error from 1971 D is the repunched mint mark, or RPM. In some instances, the D mint mark appears doubled or slightly shifted, as if it were struck twice. This tiny variation can make a significant difference in value. Collectors actively hunt for this subtle detail, as it's one of the telltale signs of a rare and valuable piece. Also noteworthy are off-center strikes. During minting, if the planchet, the blank coin, isn't properly aligned, the design gets struck off-center, leaving part of the coin blank or uneven. The more dramatic the misalignment, especially when the date remains visible, the higher the potential value. These off-center errors transform a regular penny into a fascinating numismatic curiosity. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the 1971 penny story is how it managed to survive in such pristine condition. While billions of these coins were minted, most saw heavy use and suffered significant wear. Finding one in mint state, particularly with a notable error, is exceedingly rare and highly desirable. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, a tiny copper clue from the past, perfectly preserved. To ensure you're not overlooking a valuable coin, start by carefully inspecting your 1971 pennies. Look at the date, mint mark, and inscriptions using a magnifying glass. Search for any signs of doubling, particularly in the word liberty or the date itself. Examine the mint mark for signs of repunching, and don't forget to check for off-center strikes or die cracks, thin, raised lines that appear when the die itself is damaged. And now, for the most astonishing part, the highest recorded auction price for a rare 1971 penny in top condition, featuring one of these errors, reached an incredible $120,000. Yes, a single penny that could buy a new car or even a house. It's almost surreal to think that a coin you could casually overlook might hold such tremendous value. So, the next time you're sorting through your change, take a closer look at those old pennies, especially the ones from 1971 with the D mint mark. You never know when you might uncover a fortune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow coin enthusiasts. Who knows? Your next big discovery could be just a penny away. Number 7. Imagine walking through a dusty attic, sifting through boxes of old coins, when you stumble upon a 1966 penny. At first glance, it seems just like any other cent from the 60s, common, worn, and unremarkable. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a small fortune? In fact, there's one specific 1966 penny that has become the stuff of numismatic legend. You're about to learn why this 1-cent coin is far more than just pocket change. In 1966, the United States was in the midst of a significant shift. The nation was in the midst of the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement was in full swing, and Americans were transitioning from the old ways of the past to the exciting new future of the space age. But while these historical events unfolded, something quietly happened within the U.S. Mint that would spark the interest of coin collectors for years to come. It's the mystery of the 1966 penny. Unlike other years in the 1960s, this one was never really known for having anything particularly special on its own. But collectors soon realized that there were a few rare varieties, errors and characteristics, that could make a 1966 penny worth more than its face value. And trust me, it's not just any error that makes this penny valuable. Some of these coins hold secrets that could make even seasoned collectors drop their jaws in awe. Let's dive into why the 1966 penny is so special. First, we need to talk about the most common error, the 1966 no mint mark penny. Typically, the U.S. Mint stamps a small letter on the obverse of each coin to indicate where it was struck. But in 1966, an anomaly occurred. Certain pennies, produced in Philadelphia, were released without a mint mark, which is quite unusual. The Philadelphia Mint had been producing coins with the mint mark, D for Denver and S for San Francisco, so a lack of any mark at all on a 1966 penny sparked immediate attention. These unmarked pennies became one of the rarest and most sought-after varieties among collectors, and it gets even more fascinating. In addition to the missing mint mark, there's a die variety worth noting, the double die obverse. This is a rare phenomenon where the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. In the case of the 1966 penny, some specimens show a doubled date, or even a doubled word on the reverse. These double-die pennies are highly prized by collectors, with their distinctive, ghostly shadowing adding to their allure and value. Now, let's talk about what collectors should look for when hunting down a 1966 penny. First and foremost, you want to check for the mint mark, or lack of it, on the obverse. If you find a 1966 penny with no mint mark, it's time to do some research and check for signs of other rarities, such as doubled features or even off-center strikes. These pennies, while not immediately obvious, can make a huge difference in the potential value of the coin. A keen eye and a little patience can uncover a treasure worth thousands, but even if you don't find a no mint mark or double die penny, the 1966 1 cent still holds a lot of interest for collectors because of its historical significance. By 1966, the U.S. Mint had already stopped producing silver coins, and the cent was one of the last coins that still felt like a true piece of American currency. With its simple design and familiar look, it's a reminder of a time when life in the U.S. was dramatically changing. A 1966 penny, even in its most standard form, is a window into the world of the 1960s, a time when everything seemed possible and the world felt on the verge of something new. As we get closer to the end of our journey, there's one more thing that will really make you sit up straight in your chair: the highest recorded auction price for a 1966 penny. Are you ready for it? Hold on to your seats. One such 1966 penny, boasting a rare error and in pristine condition, sold for a staggering $64,000. Yes, you heard that right, $64,000 for a single 1 cent coin. That's how much a rare 1966 penny can be worth, depending on its errors and condition. So, next time you come across a 1966 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, examine it carefully for any mint marks, die varieties, or errors. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a casual enthusiast, the 1966 penny is a reminder of how even the smallest details can make a coin truly remarkable.